My name is Li King. I have been a student of His Eminence Tsem Rinpoche for 6 years. Currently, I am the manager of the Green Project at Kachara Forest Retreat. I am here to share with you about the relationship between Dorje Shugden and Setrap. There are people who may ask, why do we need Dorje Shugden when we already have Setrap as a Dharma Protector? Before we go into the benefits of Dorje Shugden's practice, let's talk about the ancient relationship that exists between these two enlightened beings over several lifetimes. Lama Loden Sherab, the great translator, is a previous reincarnation of Dorje Shugden. Just before Lama Loden Sherab started his journey to Tibet, it is said that the abbot of Bodh Gaya monastery entrusted him with Setrap as a protector to ensure the growth of Buddhism in Tibet. So, Setrap emanated as a servant and followed Lama Loden Sherab to Tibet, out of compassion, to spread and make the Dharma grow in the land of snow. A few illustrious lifetimes later, Lama Loden Sherab reincarnated as Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen, who also practiced Setrap as one of his main protectors. Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen is an erudite master of his time. His fame spread far and wide, attracting students from surrounding lands, including the royalties of Mongolia. Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen's fame was so great that it threatened the attendance of His Holiness the 5th Dalai Lama. Their fear of Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen's success was so great that they conspired to assassinate him. Several attempts were made to murder Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen to no avail. It is said that this is due to Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen's attainments. When the ministers were informed that the only way to kill Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen was through suffocation, they stuffed a kata down his throat, eventually killing him. Tulku Drakpa Gyaltsen arose as the uncommon protector of our time, Dorje Shugden. When Dorje Shugden arose, Tibet experienced inauspicious signs. Crops failed, livestock died, and earthquakes shook the land, destroying properties. Consequently, many people, including His Holiness the 5th Dalai Lama, mistook Dorje Shugden as an angry spirit. His Holiness arranged for various rituals and pujas to be performed. When these rituals failed to abolish Dorje Shugden, His Holiness requested Mindroling Lama to perform the most powerful of rituals, the fire puja. However, even the fire puja was unsuccessful, because every time Mindroling Lama tried to place Dorje Shugden into the fire, Dorje Shugden would appear as Yamantaka back on the ladle. This shows that Dorje Shugden is of the same nature as Yamantaka, who is also Manjusri. Eventually, Setrap appeared as a beautiful Dakini to distract Mindroling Lama from completing his puja yet again. In summary, Dorje Shugden's past reincarnations have always had a close and good relationship with Setrap. The close relations between Setrap and Dorje Shugden is further illustrated in the mandala of Dorje Shugden, where we can always see Setrap residing on the second floor of the three-tiered mansion, while Dorje Shugden is on the first floor. The close connection between Dorje Shugden and Setrap is also reflected in the practice of these two Dharma Protectors. I will begin with sharing with you about the proximity between Dorje Shugden and Setrap within the Sakya lineage. Setrap and Dorje Shugden, together with Choi Mapo, are regarded as the three kings and principal protector of the Sakya lineage. This was since the time of the 31st Sakya Trinzin, Sachen Khunga Lodro. Therefore, for centuries, these three protectors have been practiced closely. The complementing practice between Dorje Shugden and Setrap also exists in the Gelug tradition, where the Kangso or puja of Setrap and Dorje Shugden are traditionally performed together in the great monastery, Ganden Shatse. Ganden Shatse Monastery is renowned for producing some of the greatest Dharma teachers of our time. For example, Trijang Rinpoche and Song Rinpoche, from whom nearly every Tibetan Buddhist of this lineage would have received teachings directly or indirectly from. Therefore, as Tibetan Buddhist practitioners of this lineage, it would be customary to continue the combined practice of both Dorje Shugden and Setrap, either together or individually. There is great importance in lineage because lineage is how we can trace a particular teaching back to the origin of Buddhism, as taught by Lord Buddha himself. Lineage gives credibility so that practitioners are able to develop strong faith and trust in the teachings and practice. Hence, the recognition of Dorje Shugden and Setrap by both the Gelugpa and Sakya lineage endorses the close ties between these two compassionate Dharma protectors. Now that we have established a strong bond between Dorje Shugden and Setrap, we will proceed to understand why the practice of Dorje Shugden will be very beneficial to us. Different yidams, protectors, and practice are prescribed based on the practitioner's affinity with them. So, what is karmic affinity? Karmic affinity refers to the relational connection we have with another being based on karma that was created from previous encounters or situations of the past, including past lives. Now, let's relate this back to the two Dharma protectors. Some practitioners may show a natural attraction towards Lord Setrap, revealing that they have a strong karmic affinity to Setrap. On the other hand, some people may be drawn towards Dorje Shugden, showing that they have a close affinity to him. In this day and age, when development have given rise to a lot of secular commitments that take away time and resources from our spiritual pursuits, having a protector with the closest karmic affinity to us would be most beneficial and logical. Dorje Shugden is also said to be the protector of our time as we enter the Kali Yuga age. This is because Dorje Shugden is considered a newer enlightened Dharma protector who has manifested in a worldly form in more recent times. This enables him to help and support practitioners on both secular and spiritual matters swiftly. Another benefit of Dorje Shugden's practice is based on the principle that different protectors bestow different benefits to their practitioners. Setrap is the emanation of Amitabha. Dorje Shugden is the same mind stream as Manjushri, the Buddha of wisdom. Therefore, Dorje Shugden's practice grants benefit that is closely associated to wisdom, such as improved memory and increased intelligence, which is very practical for this era when knowledge is valued. Dorje Shugden arose with the specific purpose of protecting the Gelugpa lineage and Lama Tsongkhapa's perfect teachings on emptiness. So, requesting Dorje Shugden's protection also grants benefit associated to this doctrine and teaching. Last but not least, we should have faith in Dorje Shugden by the advice of our spiritual teacher, His Eminence Tsem Rinpoche, who received this precious practice from the lineage gurus, His Holiness Song Rinpoche, who received it from His Holiness Trijang Rinpoche, who in return received it from His Holiness Pabongka Rinpoche. They are the most erudite teachers of our time, whose reincarnations, as recognized by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, have all returned to continue turning the wheel of Dharma. Based on their result and track record, we should develop immovable faith in the practice of Dorje Shugden. Similarly, His Eminence Tsem Rinpoche has always prioritized spiritual growth and benefit for his students above all else. So we should trust that Rinpoche would only introduce practices that will benefit us. In conclusion, there is strong complement between the practice of Setrap and Dorje Shugden. In fact, we may say that when we call upon one, the other will automatically appear. What does this mean? When we practice Dorje Shugden, Setrap will be present and vice versa. This is because enlightened beings are ultimately the same and one in nature. They simply manifest in different forms to meet the various karma and mindsets that we have. In Kachara, we offer both the practice of Dorje Shugden and Setrap to meet the different requirements of practitioners. I hope that this sharing has created a clearer understanding in the relationship between Dorje Shugden and Setrap, and that it will contribute to a smoother and swifter progress in your spiritual journey. Thank you.